there was a debate about whether or not they had a requirement to fact check guests or to not platform a certain guest because they're either too extreme or they're conspiracy theorist. Do you see that as a responsibility at all when you're doing your show about having on certain guests and about maybe fact checking them? How do you see your role and how do you approach news and commentary in that sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about whether our role is to do 100% fact checking on everything that we're talking about. Yes, I mean, we'll have our guys that'll sit there and say, hey, can you check this? Can you look this up? Can you see what's going on over here? But, this is even more of a reason why we need debates. So, for example, we've had Anthony Weiner on. Okay, we sat down and we talked. Fiery debate, fiery conversation, great for TV, but it was heated. It was a debate. Yeah. We had Candace Owens and Chris Cuomo. Did a 2-hour podcast. It was great. It was heated. Hey, do you think we need IDs to vote? No, yes.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? The audience won. Dave Smith and Cuomo. Great conversation. COVID, Fauci.
Very
great.
Heated.
Very heated. But guess what? It got hundreds of millions of views, clips, all this stuff. Who won? The audience won. This is why I think we need more debates. Like if you think about CNN right now, you know who is making CNN's rating go up the last 6 months? Scott Jennings. He's a star. He's not just a star. He's a superstar. Scott Jennings single-handedly is causing people to watch CNN because somebody is sitting there that's watching an actual debate taking place. You take Scott Jennings out. What am I watching with CNN? Everybody agreeing with each other. It's not what you want to do. It's kind of boring. So for us on the podcast side, we're not journalists. We're people that are curious. We're people that are interested to see what's going on, and we're asking questions. Joe Rogan, he can speak for himself. My opinion of watching him, he's not a journalist, but he's a curious guy, and people like him and trust him. In anything you ever do, if you think about the products you've bought, the house you bought, the car, I like your car, or, a watch you bought, or something you bought that was expensive, that somebody had to sell it to you. Not shoes at a store, $200, talking something that really required you to spend money. You probably, if you were to think about the favorite salesperson you bought something from, what did they do? You liked them, you trusted them. It's not they were the best at overcoming objections. It's not they knew everything about the product. It wasn't that. Typically, the guys that are the over-analytical people, they don't know how to communicate to the audience. It's a person you liked. It's a person you trusted. Podcasting at the most basic level is people like Joe, and people feel like they trust Joe. They're not expecting him to be a doctor. They're not expecting him to be a scientist. They're not expecting us to be that. But they look at us and they're like, I like them. I trust them. They seem to be fair. Let me see what they have to say.
Yeah.
And I think that's been gone in media. Earlier today, we were talking about a comedian that's SNL that we both like, Marcelo. I think he's a superstar. He used to help one of our podcasts here for 2 years. He was with us. And I saw the numbers right now, what happened with Stephen Colbert, that he went from 3.8 million 5 years ago to 2.6 million. Okay, 1.2 million viewership dropped in the last 5 years. And Jimmy Kimmel dropped to 1.8 million.
They're all at 1 million now.
Horrible type of numbers. Embarrassing type of numbers. That wasn't what Kimmel used to do before. That's not what Colbert used to do before. And then we looked at the numbers. I said, how long has Fallon been doing it? 10 years. He started in 2014. How long has Kimmel been doing it? 2003. 21 years Kimmel, yes. How long did Leno do it? Leno went 17 years, took a break, came back, did another 4 years, total 21 years. How long did Letterman do it? 22 years. What happened to Letterman at the last 5 years? He was bitter and angry. You're kind of like a little bit, so many people are like, oh my God, you're the greatest, you're the best, you're this, you're that. You kind of start becoming annoyingly bitter, right? And pompous a little bit. You're not even aware of it. Kimmel's reached that point. They need to replace him with a guy like Marcelo. Marcelo would shine. They probably wouldn't do it. ABC wouldn't hire him. Where am I going with this? A lot of the legacy media are like the Kimmels. They don't talk and speak with you. They talk at you. They're preaching. They feel like they're an elitist to you. American people are sick of it. That's why the numbers are coming out. They're no longer talking to you like you're a human being. They talk to you like, I know what I'm doing. You're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. You're below me. Nobody likes that. Yep. No one likes that. And that's how they're getting a black eye.
So this is exactly what I wanted to ask you about. Obviously, this has been declared the podcast election. by much of the media because it really was the first time in modern American history where independent media voices like yourself supplanted traditional media as the main place that people got their information from. Is that what you just described? Is that the why you think this has happened? Because there are a bunch of different theories. Mine would be that we don't really live in a monoculture anymore. Media is fractured. But do you think it has to do with the personalities, that people just prefer these independent personalities over the media institutions that they used to get their news from?
Okay, so let me ask you this. Who do you like the most on TV and podcast?
TV and podcasts.
The key word is like.
Like.
Who do you like the most? By the way, it doesn't have to be news. It can be anything. It can be crime. It can be sports. It can be any topic. Who do you like the most?
I'm going to say this just out of recency bias because I was watching him this morning. Andrew Ross Sorkin. I'm a huge fan.
Okay, great.
But I'm a traditional media fetishist.
And by the way, although he's a guy on the left, I like him. I like him. I think he does a great job interviewing. He's a guy that I also like to watch. Okay, because I think he's a professional. I even think he sold a business in the past. So he's a guy that has had some success. So when he does the interview, he's asking the questions that I would want to ask.
Yeah.
Why do you watch him?
Smart, knows what he's talking about. I feel like he's at the same level of the people that he's interviewing intellectually, which is hard to find on television.
I agree.
And so I learn from him.
Do you think he's arrogant?
No, I think he's incredibly thoughtful.
Okay, I agree with you. Yeah. Right? So to me, he's a top 5 guys in business.
Right. Yeah.
If I'm hiring a guy, he's on my top 5 list that I'm making the call. Say, hey, let's see if we can get a guy like that he's coming over. Okay. So again, going back to it, I don't think this is going away. I think this is the last time you're going to have an election be decided.
You don't think we're going to have a rebound of traditional media? It's over.
Oh, it's over. Not it's gone.
Yeah.
It will not be gone for 20 years, but it's over. It's no longer the game of mainstream media. It's done. Okay? And you know who proved that? 2 people. It's not even Trump. 2 people proved that. One is Vivek. The other one is Bobby. Look what Bobby did 3 years ago. You know how many times we had him on the podcast? I had one time they reached out to us, and I got a call from him and Dershowitz. We got on a call, and they said, we'd like to debate, and we'd like to do it on your podcast. No problem. Do you know how the interview was? Okay, today we have Alan Dershowitz, a very famous lawyer, 50 years Harvard, and we have Bobby Kennedy, environmental lawyer, and the topic we're going to have is COVID vaccines. So I ask one question. 2 hours later, I don't speak. They go. You know how fascinating it was? Just letting them talk to each other and staying out of their way.
Yeah.
Of course, if they were getting out of control bullying, I'm jumping in, but they were very respectful about it. Then I saw Bobby went to Rogan. He went to everybody. Left and right, he's talking to everybody. I'm running for president. What? Yeah. No way. Yeah. 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, 7%. Are you kidding me? No. Vivek. Who is Vivek? He comes on our podcast. He starts talking about this book he wrote, Woke. Okay, this guy's a business guy and interesting, successful guy, billionaire, whatever his net worth is, $600, $700, $800 million, maybe $1 billion. After he's on the podcast, I'm listening to him. I'm like, why are you here? 2 months later, he announces he's running for president. Like, I got the feeling this guy's talking like he's going to run. Vivek goes from having 40,000 followers on Twitter, X. You know how many he's got right now? 3.6 million.
Right.
Spike. Bobby. Spike. All over the place. Then Trump comes in. His son, Barron, calls us. Hey, can you come to Mar-a-Lago, please? He'd like to have dinner with you. I'd go to Mar-a-Lago. It's him and his father. And, Dad, this guy's a guy. You got to do his podcast and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm telling you, you got to sit down with him. And he's like, you see, he's got an eye. He always tells me which podcast to go on. And I'm watching. I'm like, what a great way they're going back and forth. You saw him go on Theo Vaughn, crushed it. Andrew Schultz, crushed it. The Bloomberg one, crushed it. The one that was very tough. They were pushing
tense,
it.
Yeah, with
yeah,
the
by the way, I loved it. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That's what you want from an interview.
I loved it. Mm-hmm. He came to us. He went to Rogan. He went all over the place. And Kamala Harris, what does she do? She doesn't do Rogan. She pays $100,000 to call her daddy, and then you got to give the questions. walks off from Brett Baer because it was being too pushy, and then they stopped it early. All of that shows weakness.
Yeah.
This will be a model for 2027, 2028. By the way, DeSantis came here, Vivek came here, Bobby came here, almost everybody came. Trump came here. Nikki Haley never came here. Nikki Haley never went on podcasts. What if Nikki Haley would have gone on podcasts? I don't know what would have happened, but she never went. The establishment mindset.
Right.
Even DeSantis, as much as he doesn't like to do this kind of stuff, he went on podcasts. He put himself out there. So I think this business model is here to stay. And I think whoever is planning on running in 2027, 2028, I think it's going to be a wide open market, by the way, because it's a one-term president. Everyone's going to get in. 2028 is going to be the year like free agency, okay, where everyone's going to be a free agent. Everyone's sitting there saying, how do I get the marketing going? But if you don't go through podcasting, you're not going to be competing in 2028.